Rockhampton.
Rockhampton. So
Yes.
you're a Queensland boy.
Yes.
Go
Born and bred in Rocky, and
Yep.
I left there when I was about 27, I think. Yeah, I met my darling, my first wife there, MORAN. We were married for 50 years.
Yep.
And we had 4 lovely children,
Yep.
3 girls and a boy. And MORAN passed away 17 years ago now.
Oh, you're remarried now to a gorgeous girl.
Yes.
Our dear old Margot. She's just precious. I
She
just
is.
love her to bits, and I haven't seen her for a long time.
When I was in Rockhampton, that started up there when I was in Golden Circle. They built a pineapple processing factory in Rockhampton.
Right.
And it was under the direction of the Committee of Direction of Food Marketing, COD.
Right.
And they had a big, there's still got a Northgate, big
Yep.
factory at Northgate, that's been there for 100 years.
Yep. Yep.
And so they were looking for people to work there because this was a new thing. They built the factory, and then they were looking for staff, different, you know, processors and engineers, electricians, and you know,
Truck
all
drivers.
and truck drivers. And you wouldn't believe, I said, yeah, I like to drive a truck, and I'd never driven a truck in my life.
Oh, no. So you didn't have a license or anything?
No,
So
no.
where'd you get your license? Out Northern Territory or something at the back blocks?
No, in Rockhampton.
In Rocky? Did the sergeant of the day sign the packet for you?
Yes.
Good on him.
He said, can you drive a truck? I said, yeah, well, I said I drove it to here. And he said, yeah, can you drive it backwards? I said, yeah, I think so. I never tried.
And we worried about how we're giving licenses out now.
Yeah, that's right, that's nothing.
No.
And he said, oh, right, he said, he wasn't a very old sergeant, but he was a nice man. And in Rockhampton, we come out on this front, and I said, well, you want to jump in with me? And no, he said, I'll stand here. You go down there to Bolsover Street, was the street.
Yep.
Go down the end of Bolsover Street to William Street, and turn around and come back and park there again, he said. And that's all I had to do. He wouldn't even get in.
He was too scared.
Yeah, he wouldn't even get in. And the same thing happened when I had to get a semi-trailer license a bit later on. And yeah, he wouldn't get in, the sergeant. He kept saying to me, you sure you can drive this thing backwards? I said, yes, I can.
Well, here, there you go, no worries.
Yeah, that's how I got both my licenses, like for a truck and an articulated vehicle. Jeez. I was on the long haul for nearly 50 years.
Yep.
And it was about 8 years before that, I suppose, before I ever went on the interstate. So
Yep.
that's
Yep.
close to 60 years.
Yeah, so you did your time. Gosh.
Well, I'm 87 now. I gave up when I was 68.
Yep.
But I gave up because my job, beautiful job I had at Brambles on the tankers for 15 years, and the company in its wisdom decided to sell the company fleet.
Yep.
And we had our opportunity to buy the truck you were driving, but I was too old in Class C.
Yep.
I was too old then, so I said, no, I don't want to buy a truck now.
No, not at that age, hey?
No, lovely, I'll never service this debt, you know, if I take on the debt like that.
Yeah.
Then my wife, she'd already had a cancer and a tumour in the throat.
Yep.
And had heaps of surgery and radiation, and terrible time for her.
So she
Over
needed you.
Year and a half, yeah. And
Yep.
I thought, oh, I'm not going to put any more stress on anything here.
No,
So
good on you.
Ferret when I was 14. I've had that name all that time.
Oh, there you go. There
And
you go.
I'll tell you the story about that. My friend Noel Bamrick, his name was, and we used to ride horses, and you know, of course, I've been droving with my grandfather up in the Gulf just before that, years before that.
Yeah.
And anyway, it was just at that time, and you know what it was like in those days. Everyone had a nickname.
Yep. Yep.
And so we were all getting our nicknames and whatever. And anyway, he got called Shithead, and I got called the Ferret, so I don't really complain.
No, that was much better than Shithead, definitely.
I couldn't imagine now the things that I've done, you know, with this. I couldn't imagine being called Johnny Shithead Moran. A friend of mine, Pat Devitt, from the old days on the road, you know, when the old trucks with no windows and no brakes, you know.
No brakes, shit.
Wooden floors.
This driving thing of yours, it's a worry. It's a worry, Johnny. It gets worse. Okay, so no brakes, no windows, no aircon, no bunk.
Oh, 250 air conditioning.
Yep.
2 windows down, 50 miles an hour.
Okay.
But what I consider the magazine probably one of my greatest achievements, you know, even with things like that, you know, and I had no education, and I had a great love of poetry. I was an avid reader all my life, thanks to my mum. She made me read everything that had any writing on it.
Yep.
And she was a great reader too. And so I thank her for that. And then my love of poetry.
Yep.
And it went on to greater things. And in the early days on the road, and I used to pull up under a tree somewhere and write a poem.
Yep.
Going down the road, I'd see something to write about, you know, and I'd pull up and write a poem about it.
Yep.
Because we weren't so much expressed then.
No.
You know, it was a matter of
Not at 50.
when will you be there? when will you be there? And I'd say when I drive in the gate.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, stick your head out
No
the window.
logbooks? No nothing?
No.
No.
Well, I had a logbook for 2 years before I even put a mark in it. I didn't know how to do it, so I just threw it under the seat.
And we still don't know how to do it, so
No,
nothing's changed.
nobody still knows, that's right. Anyway, a friend of mine, Pat Devitt, he was killed up in the north, and he was a real larrikin on the road. And I wrote a poem about him, Devitt, my mate.
Yep.
And it was about 15 verses, I suppose. And actually, that was the first thing of mine that I ever saw in print. Was that poem, Devitt, my mate. And then Malcolm Johnson was just sniffing around then trying to get his magazine going.
Yep.
And he saw it.
Yep.
And he said, contacted me. And he said, did you write that poem? And I said, yes, I did. Well, he said, that's very good, mate. He said, you got any more? I said, well, seeing that you've asked me.
Yes, I have.
Anyway, he said, well, could I have a look at them, please? Would you be interested in me publishing them in Truck and Life when I get it going? I said, yes. And so I went over and saw him. So then one day he said to me, what do you think it needs then, the magazine, to be really interesting for truck drivers? And I said, it needs a gossip column. Yeah.
Every truck driver loves a gossip.
Well, Louie, and in the Truth paper, the gossip column was the first thing I always read. In Woman's Weekly had one, and, you know, they nearly all had one.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I said, that's what it needs. We had the best spy network.
Because truck drivers are like women, they love to talk.
They do.
They do.
Gossip.
Absolutely. Love the gossip.
Yeah.
Still the same.
And Yeah, I had every girl in every roadhouse. I think I had a better spy network than the CIA. Well, it finished last year. Kind of my collapsed altogether.
Yes,
It's gone
yes,
now.
gone completely.
Yeah, and it ran for over 30 years. And 28 years, I think. And I wrote for them for 17 years.
Yeah. Leslie started Brisbane Convoy for Kids, but you became the patron of most of them around Australia now. So, how did that become? How did you become the patron?
Oh, well, they invite you.
Yep.
And I never got them back. I'm the patron of about 9 things. Look at these things here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this one here is this. I'm the Queensland patron
Yep.
for riding for the disabled.
You got your lights on the hill hat as well.
Yeah, I'm the patron of that too,
Yeah.
with Slim Dusty.
Yes.
And I'm the patron of the Brisbane Convoy and the Sydney Life member and patron of the Sydney Convoy.
Yep.
And Melbourne National Ambassador and patron.
This man is an absolute legend in our industry, and it's been an absolute pleasure knowing you for all these years. And I know that we've got lots of years to come, and maybe more stories to come as well. So,
Will you put that in writing for me?
yes, definitely, darling. Yes, definitely. So thank you.
I'm 87 now.
No, are you 87 years young?
Yep,
Goodness gracious.
Not
You're
out.
doing well. You're doing well.
87 not out.
Yeah. No,
No,
definitely not out.
Not a bad score.
No, going well.
Can we do this again one day
We
and
will.
finish the story?
We will definitely. So we will definitely do that. We'll come back up. And thanks guys for having a listen to us today, and we will come back and see the legend himself again one day.
Thank you, boys. Keep it safe.
See you later.